Portuguese America by Hero, Shiloh, KT, and Kayliana. The sails of Portuguese ships cut through Atlantic winds chasing gold, sugar, and souls. As they landed on Brazil's shores, a new world began to unfold, one shaped by ambition, faith, and the clash of civilizations.
Portuguese America offers a world of possibilities for adventurers, settlers, and entrepreneurs alike.
Economic opportunities. Individuals become rich from Eastern trading for a time. Mexico and South America are rich in silver and gold, monopolized over tobacco and gunpowder, not very well early on, economically. Introduction of European crops and livestock helped boost the economy. Military power, mainly focused on military presence, restricting trade and prohibiting manufacturing of others while protecting their own manufacturers. Mercantilism is what they followed. Stifled local industries and limited village expansion.
Treatment of indigenous people. Under Portuguese America's colonization, indigenous people were subjected to slavery and cultural extermination. The spread of Christianity to indigenous people stripped them of their identities further, causing conflict between Portuguese settlers and natives. Two categories were made for these people. Peaceful ones who converted were granted certain protections under the Jesuits, while ones unwilling to conform could be forced into slavery. Relationship with religious institutions. Catholicism had a major uprise during 1400 to 1750. More churches started to pop up in Portuguese America, which facilitated the spread of religion to other places and groups. The Jesuits, for example, influenced and enforced Catholic beliefs onto neighboring regions and people they have conquered, like the natives, for example.
Next, we have information about political control and opportunity for advancement. Firstly, we will be going over political control. During this time, control was through the monarchy, and the monarch would appoint people such as governors and viceroys. These appointed officials would act in favor for the crown and as the crown in the colonies. These appointed officials worked alongside local councils, and the local councils dealt with day-to-day affairs. Now we will talk about opportunities for advancement. During this time, there was a rigid social hierarchy in Portuguese America. They also followed a patriarchal social structure. There were many barriers to move throughout social classes. These barriers could be things such as hereditary privileges or labor systems.
Okay, next we have information on Portuguese America's labor systems and possible difficulties of resupply. So first, I will be covering labor systems, which is quite complicated because they use the idea of Christian faith in order to justify the idea of forced labor of indigenous and black people. On a better note, there was many people who were self-employed, like craftsmen and other specialized workers. Next, for possible difficulties with resupplying resources, they trade with places in the Americas in order to not have to transport resources from far away. Some specific things to note is that the main resources we have are cash crops, and a route that was commonly used was the Atlantic slave trade.
Now we will be comparing British American colonies and Portuguese American colonies. British American colonies were in constant competition with France, they were Catholic, and they taxed heavily. Portuguese American colonies were Christian, they monopolized tobacco and gunpowder, and the land was rich with precious metals such as silver and gold. Some similarities between the two were that they were both monarchies, they treated indigenous people unfairly, and were both extremely motivated by religious beliefs.
Counterargument. If someone were to come here solely for economic benefits to accumulate wealth, what makes these colonies a better choice compared to others? Rebuttal. The reason to choose these colonies, while not good early on economically, it is an investment. With less people, there's less competition, and more money for you.